Nirvana is one of the most popular groups in the history of rock music. You might think you know the story of the legendary 90s grunge band, but in this video, we're going to explore facts that you probably didn't know about Nirvana. Welcome to AllVIPP Celebrity Corner with Sarah. Today we're diving into one of the greatest and most acclaimed rock bands of all time, Nirvana. You probably know about the rise and tragic fall of Nirvana frontman Kurt Cobain, and who hasn't heard defining tracks like Smells Like Teen Spirit and Come As You Are. But here are 5 facts you probably didn't know about the band who were on top of the rock music world in the early 90s. Nirvana reached an incredible level of success in just 5 years as a band until Kurt Cobain's tragic death in 1994. During that time, they only released 3 studio albums, so fans are pretty familiar with their songs. But there is one oddball Nirvana track that's probably only known by the most devoted of fans, and that is Beans. It's a strange novelty track that Cobain was determined to include on the band's 1989 debut album, Bleach. The 90-second song features a chipmunk-sounding Cobain singing about, you guessed it, eating beans. He wanted the experimental track to be on Nirvana's debut, but the band's label wasn't buying it, so it didn't make the cut. Instead, Beans became only a little-known but fun recording buried deep in Nirvana's catalog. While it's likely that Beans hasn't reached the ears of casual music fans, virtually everyone has heard Nirvana's best-known track, the 90s defining Smells Like Teen Spirit. Now, it's often assumed that Cobain titled the track as a statement on youth culture and rebellion of the day, and he believed he did too. But the truth of the story is Cobain got the phrase from a friend who had written on a wall, "Kurt smells like teen spirit." The friend was musician Kathleen Hanna, who has since revealed it was actually a joke about a women's deodorant brand called Teen Spirit. But she chose not to tell Cobain about the joke and allowed him to name the song after the phrase she coined. With hits like Smells Like Teen Spirit, Nirvana enjoyed huge mainstream success in the 90s, all while remaining pretty unconventional and boundary pushing. For example, singer and guitarist Kurt Cobain was known to dye his hair bright red with Kool-Aid powder and sometimes wear dresses or skirts as an act of defiance. But perhaps Nirvana's most unpredictable moment came in 1992 when they performed at Reading Festival shortly after Cobain had spent time in rehab. When the show began, he was wheeled on stage in a wheelchair and wearing a hospital gown. Cobain addressed the crowd briefly before he shockingly collapsed, only to rise moments later, grab his guitar, and launch into one of the band's best live shows. The Nirvana frontman later said the daring stunt was meant to mock the media's coverage of his health struggles. Another of Nirvana's crowning achievements was their performance on MTV Unplugged in New York from 1993. The unique acoustic show became a legendary one, but tensions were high behind the scenes. The band clashed with the show's producers, and there were uncertainties about how Cobain would hold up, as he was ill and struggling through withdrawal. While Nirvana pulled off the show brilliantly, tensions ran high through the very end. Memorably, Nirvana finished the set with a haunting cover of Where Did You Sleep Last Night by Leadbelly. After the song, Cobain refused to give an encore performance because he didn't think he could outdo that powerful conclusion. So, it stood as the end of the show. Nirvana's MTV Unplugged was also in the news in 2020 when Cobain's Martin acoustic guitar from the show went up for auction. In case there was any doubt about the band's enduring popularity, the guitar sold for just over $6 million. It set a new record for the most expensive piece of music memorabilia ever sold in an auction. We hope you learned something new about Nirvana today. Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video and you want to learn more, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and share for more of AllVIPP's Celebrity Corner with Sarah. Thanks for watching.